Hi, Suzanne. Do
Hello, good morning.
you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name's Suzanne Jarvis. I'm one of the lecturers from Stage 3 at Derby Kettleston Road campus in
Okay,
Adelaide.
perfect. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your career?
My career, my career began in the late 1980s as an auxiliary nurse, where I worked in Nottingham in the General Hospital, which is now closed. I think it's a pub in a minute. It's a listed building. But I worked down there in healthcare of the elderly while I was waiting to begin my nurse training on what was then Project 2000. So began my nurse training. When I qualified in Nottingham, I got a job in thoracic surgery, which was the last ward I worked on as a student. So I walked out as a student on a Friday and in on a Monday as a staff nurse, took the keys and off you go. I was there for a while before I went to work in intensive care at Queen's Medical Centre. After working on ITU, I took a massive jump and went to work in the district as a community staff nurse on the district, where I then got approached by one of the GPs that I worked for over, I might add, a Jack Daniels and box of 20 fags. I don't smoke anymore, but that's how it was then. Got offered a job there as a practice nurse, which I'd never done before, and that's where my career in practice nursing began, in primary care. So I worked with a practice nurse for a week, and then I was pretty much left on my own. Worked as a practice nurse for 11 years, and then began my advanced training to become an advanced nurse practitioner. I was on the second cohort for independent prescribing ever, and one of the first GP-led surgeries to introduce triage into general practice.
Thank you. So, can you tell us about a patient or a client story, obviously maintaining confidentiality, something that's something that you remember from your clinical past?
I have got one, and it didn't take me long to come up with this because, one, it was quite a sad story really, but as an A&P, I was involved in seeing a young child of 5 that came to me with symptoms of cough, cold, not coronavirus then, but examined her, did what I needed to do. All of her observations seemed normal, but my gut feeling was this child was unwell. But I couldn't put my finger on it. So I put her in to see the GP, sort of 10 minutes after me, and moved on to my next patient. GP had seen her, said, no, I think this is flu, this is viral. Looked at everything I looked at, sent the child home. Long story short, 2 days later, the child was back with the same cough and cold. So we brought her down to surgery again, where she collapsed and later died. Okay, just 2 days before her 6th birthday, and she died on my birthday. So that led to coroner's court and big inquest, and there was involvement from the media and what have you. At the end of that, I came out. It was a massive learning curve. This happened 15 years ago, and from that, what I learned is that you go with your gut, trust your gut, because your gut's from your experience. And I was right. Unfortunately, we weren't quick enough, but so that's the one that I'll always remember, really.
I think that's a really important point, isn't it? Sometimes if you might find that the numbers look okay, but if something's telling you that patient isn't right, sometimes we have that professional intuition, don't we?
And unfortunately for that little one, I think even if we'd have caught it at that point from what they told us, it probably wouldn't have been quick enough. She had a very rare condition. It looked like, it ended in sepsis, but what sort of precluded it was very unusual.
Yeah. Okay. So why did you leave clinical practice and move into lecturing?
Teaching's always been something I've enjoyed. When I went into primary care, I was probably most at the time, nurses in primary care tended to have a blue rinse and a jumper and set. I was quite young when I went into primary care, and so with me I took students, which was also something that they didn't see in primary care. And I've dragged students around with me everywhere I go. I've brought students into primary care because I've been very passionate about telling people about the journey of a general practice nurse and what that role involves. But I also believe the skills that you gain from coming into general practice as a student are absolutely invaluable. So that's where my journey began. Worked for Health Education England, worked in the training hub for Nottingham, and found that was kind of where my path was taking me. I'd done quite a lot of time in practicing clinical patients, and it was just time for a change.
Okay, so outside of work, do you have any hobbies?
I do. You've probably heard about them. Well, for many years I played hockey, but I've just took a year out. But I also practice martial arts, so I'm just training to take a second dan black belt in Wado karate at the moment. So they're my couple of hobbies that take up most of my time.
And finally, how would your best friend describe you?
My best friends have always said that I'm very loyal, feisty, and will always go down with a fight.
Perfect. I know not to take you on in in the office.
Really.
No, that's brilliant. Thanks for sharing some of those thoughts. It's hopefully our students will get to know you a bit better.
Okay.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Suzanne.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.